technology today. Figure I gotta get something up there so I can see what's going on. And I had an idea, so something I ramble about. Topic for the evening: get good at anything. Um, More on that in a moment. So I got some fun technology going on here. I got a tripod stand from a little camera thingy, some lights. I'm currently figuring out how to use a green screen. There's an ongoing battle between me and my webcam as to what the color balance should be, so that's going to get real funky at various points in the video. So that's what's going on here. This is a nice little background from my trip to the Land's End Trail, which I believe is on fire, or the area there around is on fire. So unfortunate, but it's California and we're always on fire. Anyway, get good at anything. When you are learning the techniques of being a happy human being, all the skills that go into understanding how your experience of the world gets formed and how you can intervene therein to make a more pleasant life, it can get rough. As you're going up against the sorts of forces in your own mind that prevent you from accessing sort of that happy human experience, it can get really unfortunate, and it can become quite a struggle because you're learning things, you're growing, you're developing skills, among other things. There are other reasons too, but primarily what we're focusing on here is all learning, all growing necessarily entails some struggle, some frustration, some challenges, some generally not being good at something and then putting in the work to become good at it. And that is a skill set in and of itself. And it's one where, in the spirit of decoupling issues, taking challenging problems and breaking them down into manageable bite-sized chunks, you can actually practice that skill of getting good at acquiring new skills in isolation, just by picking up literally any kind of hobby, any kind of practice, any kind of activity in the world that you can start from square one, totally sucking at, and then observe the process of transitioning from a beginner to, sort of a knowledgeable novice to an intermediate practitioner, and then becoming a skilled practitioner. So pick up a hobby or a sport or an activity or anything like that, and you will learn a tremendous amount about what it takes to effectively learn. And then you can apply that to learning how to be a happy human being. And you're going to have a lot better results than if you just go like, okay, I want to take on the hardest set of skills that a human being can learn with no understanding of how it is that one goes about learning new skills. And learning how to learn is one of those things that, I don't know, the memo just doesn't seem to be out on that one. It's always shocking to me because I'm a nerd. I spent my entire childhood basically striving to get into the library, and so teaching myself a lot of stuff from books and learning like, okay, this is how you have to go about that. And then when I was maybe 16 or something like that, I decided to pick up the game Go, which is ridiculously hard and I'm still awful at, but I'm 20 grades of awful better than a novice, or thereabouts, maybe a little better than that. And in the process of that, just watching how things which were very difficult became easy. I remember very markedly despairing of ever being able to figure out if any of my groups were in trouble, and then one day realized I just look at it and it's obvious now. So what kind of information overlay is going on here? But from the I'm never going to figure this out to this is obvious, the struggle was real and it was not fun, was the information that I was getting. That this was very frustrating because I was losing. I set out to do a thing and I failed to accomplish the thing. And that's unpleasant, and that should make me want to stop doing the thing. And that's not really a productive way to experience the acquisition of skills, right? Because when you start anything, you are going to suck. That's just the way the universe works. We're highly ordered systems, the chances that we're just going to arrive when we come into some orderly environment at a winning state or a successful state or a correct state are just really low. There are more configurations of sucking than there are of being good. It takes a long time for big agglomeration of neural networks upstairs to figure out what the difference is between firing pathways that lead to sucking and firing pathways that lead to being good. So you have to feed the data in, all of that nice labeled training data, aka losing a ton, failing a ton, falling off a ton, conceiving of what you want to do, and then falling flat on your face, and then picking yourself up and going, what went wrong there? What can I take away from this? What can I try to do differently next time to see if I can get a different outcome? And then proceeding forward into that next time, and then falling directly on your face again, for a different reason, hopefully. And doing that over and over and over, and learning to maximize the amount of information you can get from each falling on your face, which often involves not delaying falling on your face. There's this sort of idea that a lot of people have when they're first learning anything, that they want to sort of put off their first failure as long as possible, and that is exactly the wrong idea. And that's something I learned from Go. There's a proverb in the Go community that says lose your first 50 games as quickly as possible. And the idea is you're never going to make a brilliant move, so stop thinking about it. Just try anything. Whoever you're playing against knows more than you and will punish your mistakes, and then you'll learn why those things were mistakes. And that's just incredibly helpful across the board. When I teach mathematics, I'm constantly trying to get my students to mess up because they don't understand something, and they kind of very often will get into this state where they're hoping I'll just tell them what the answer is. But I want them to grapple with it. So I say, well, try something. What do you mean try something? Just try something. Try anything. So if we're factoring, they're like, well, I don't know what numbers go in where. So, okay, well, we know how to check if we have the correct solution, right? So put any numbers in there. And you go, what do you mean put any numbers in there? It's fine. Nobody comes down and smites you from the sky if you get a math problem wrong. Just put whatever numbers seem nice in there. You know, what's your favorite number? Put that in there. Okay, is that the right answer? Check it. What's wrong with it? Is this number too big? Is that number too big? And very quickly, actually, most people can sort of tune their way in to a solution to a relatively easy factoring problem, and then we can do a little post-mortem and say, okay, what do we learn about what numbers in this come from what numbers in this? What kind of strategies can we apply? You practice just sticking numbers in for half an hour, and you actually have a pretty good grasp on the fundamentals of factoring. And that sort of process of, I don't really understand what's going on here. I don't really understand what it is I need to do to behave skillfully here, but I have some means of figuring out if I haven't. So I'm just going to try something and see how badly it fails. Lately in my life, I have been painting little miniatures, right? Little fantasy miniature figurines and whatnot, because I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons with some of my friends, because we're nerds, right? No secret, if you're watching this channel, I'm a nerd. And I just failed today. Just was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and the sort of the moment of truth arrived where it's like, okay, I've done all these little steps, and I'm going to do the fiddly bits, and it's going to look great. And it looked terrible. It just looked awful, and it's like, oh. And there was that unhelpful voice. It was like, oh no, this is bad. Now we have to. And then, the training comes in and goes, actually, no, this is good, because now I know that I don't know how to do that. Now I know a deficiency in my skill at this new thing that I'm picking up, and now I actually have a little mini project I'm going to go seek out. Okay, is there some expert advice on this particular thing? Right? And that happens all the time with this being happy business. People generally fall flat on their face all the time. So they learn some good information. Here's a cool practice, right? And they try it out and they have a lot of success with it, and then something comes up in their life and they stop doing the thing that has been helping them. And then at some later time, they realize that and they go, oh, how did this happen? Okay, great, awesome. You failed to practice being a happy human being. Let's extract the data, right? Let's get to the bottom of how this came about, and we're going to learn one more piece of information about the sorts of forces, events within your own mind that are standing between you and being a happy human. Rad, awesome, but you don't get to that place if you have the attitude of, oh my God, I'm a failure, I knew this was a good thing and I stopped doing it, how did I fail, oh my God, I should just give up. If that's the attitude, you're not going to get there. So decouple, practice getting good at literally anything, pick up an instrument, start an art project, start a hobby, do some woodworking, go in a metal shop, fix a car, you know, it really doesn't matter. Just find anything you're not good at and start getting good at it. Learn the attitudes of mind that help you get good. Bring them over into the practice of being a happy human being. And you're going to have a lot more success, because when you fall on your face, you're going to know, okay, it's time to get up. It's time to do the post-mortem, figure out how I lost the fight against gravity yet again, and start sailing on, start moving towards that happy human life. Now I gotta walk all the way over here to turn off the stream, as if this wasn't hard enough for me.